Hey you guys, this is Rafael from Shiloh Relics.com. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to talk about something that's pretty cool from the Civil War. It's not our flashiest and fanciest thing that we've talked about, but it's something most folks have no idea that existed. Today we're going to talk about Civil War body armor. Yep, that's right, Civil War body armor. In doing this research, I learned a few things, and that's one of the things I like about this hobby. There's always something to learn, and there's a lot of really cool stuff out there that I never thought about. Well, in 1960, there was a lady named Stephanie Kwolek, and I apologize if I mispronounced that name. Still working on my English skills, and she developed a little thing called Kevlar. And that's the body armor that we hear about so much today because it resists bullet strikes, saved countless lives. Amazing lady. But one of the things that predates her work was started way back during the Civil War. And it was intended to do really good things, but it was pretty much just a good sales gimmick to make a little money. And there, in that research, there's a lady, her name is Sarah Weichsel, and she wrote an amazing article that most of the information that I'm going to tell you today came from. I hope you Google it. And if you ever see Miss Sarah, tell her thank you because she did a really good job on that article. Hadn't met her yet, but someday. The Civil War body armor, as a lot of people refer to it, was basically a simple technique. They took sheet iron or cast iron and put it inside a vest. Yep, that's all they did. That was what it was intended to do. And the way that they advertised it was actually kind of crazy. They said that it would protect you from rifle bullet strikes at 40 rods, which is, I had no idea, 220 yards. So if you're a Yankee and you're wearing it, and you could keep those Confederates at more than 220 yards, you should be covered if it hits you in the specific area where you have the vest. But if you're anywhere closer, and anybody that's been to a Civil War battlefield realizes that most of Civil War fighting, when it got down to it, it was up close and personal. And so basically you're wearing something that's heavy, it weighted you down, it was not flexible, and pretty much a lot of the reports say the guys got rid of it as quick as they could. What did it do? It went inside the vest, but it had this one is stamped sheet iron, has a good bit of the original black paint over the top of it, and it went inside the vest, but it clipped over your shoulder so it would take a little bit of that weight off. And as you can see, it's not very form-fitting, especially if you have had a beer or two too many, but it was intended for good purposes. It has, and you can see it's in the shape of a man's chest. It has the hanger over the top, and they've actually put a little bit of canvas over the top to provide a little padding, because you can imagine, if you're walking from here to Virginia, or from Virginia to Louisiana, wearing this, that's not going to be too comfortable. But I've had a few of these over the years where it looks like they took them out and were testing them, and there's bullet strikes in them, and then they realized everybody else that had one was like, screw this, we're getting rid of it. They came basically in 3 sizes. There's a really cool ad in a Harper's Weekly, and you can see here, I actually borrowed that from the article that I did, so photo credit to them for getting it. What do they cost? Most of the sets cost between $5 and $8. $5 and $8 doesn't sound like a lot. Today, it's the equivalent, they say, between $115 and $147. Still doesn't sound like a fortune, but you got to remember, most of these guys that were fighting during the war were privates. That is 1/3 to 1/2 of 1 month's salary for being a private in the Civil War. So you could spend it on something that you hoped would save your life if you're at 220 yards plus, or you could spend it on a little whiskey and good times. Not a very tough choice. They're a neat piece. I just picked them up. They are pictured on ShilohRelics.com. You can see every angle of them. I've got some other information on them. You don't see them that often. You see them in excavated condition a lot more than you do non-excavated, which is kind of odd, but it's because they got rid of them when they got the chance. These, nice condition, not mint, but you actually know somebody wore these at one time. They got a cool look to them. I hope you go on to ShilohRelics.com. We're doing this one because a friend of mine, I've always, early days, I told you a lot of times, if you see something on the site that you'd like to see one of these on, let me know and I'll do my best to do it. A friend of mine said, boy, that would be a cool one. And I'm like, you're right, let's try that one. I hope you've enjoyed it. We just gave away our sword because we had the promotion of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we would give away a sword. The guy got it, and he said, I watched the giveaway video, and he said, I just couldn't quit smiling. It makes me feel good. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have taken time to share them, and I do appreciate that sharing. If I can ever be of assistance, I'll try. It's just me in the office. I sweep the floors, I write up the pictures, I ship the boxes, I clean the toilets, I do it all. So I don't get everything done. I've had some folks send me pictures and I want to help with doing stuff like that, but there's just not enough time. I'm here every day trying to do as much as I can as far as buying and selling, because this is how I feed my family. So please don't ever take it that I don't want to help. I always want to help, just time doesn't permit sometimes. I hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for all of you guys that have been supportive over this last year. I didn't realize that the sword giveaway would be on the 1-year anniversary of when we started this mess. Just worked out that way, pretty much like everything in my life. I am so fortunate to get to be with you guys. I'm fortunate for my friends and family. Remember to tell those that you love them, because if the last word you hear out of my mouth are I love you, I'm all right with that. I'll catch you next time.